Are there times when an infographic simply won't work?
Yes, there are dozens of times when an infographic won't work. It's kind of funny because, the infographic industry became popular in about 2009.
Mm-hmm.
And here we are, 2016, and we have people calling us still who just learned what an infographic was yesterday. And so what happens is it's a buzzword in their office, and maybe their boss is saying, hey, I just heard about this.
Right.
I need an infographic. And so it's kind of like trying to fit a square peg into a hole, because they come to us and say, here's the problem I want to solve for. My boss says he wants an infographic. Let's do it. But an infographic is not always the right option. To give you an example, one of my favorite stories for this was a nonprofit organization called the Solutions Project.
Mm-hmm.
The Solutions Project is headed up by Mark Ruffalo. His entire goal with the Solutions Project is to make America 100% dependent on renewable energy by 2050. And in the process of evangelizing this nonprofit organization, he hired a group of Stanford scientists to identify what's the current energy consumption by state, what type of energy consumption would they need to have if they were dependent on renewable energy, because a state like Phoenix would be dependent on solar energy, while
right.
a state like Chicago, a city like Chicago, would be dependent on wind energy probably. And so they wanted to kind of identify all of those things and then identify what the economic impact would be. So they suddenly had data for 50 different states and came to me and said, well, we want 50 infographics. We want each infographic to be right. We want each infographic to be updatable on a regular basis, because we want to be able to change it as the numbers change, because every year these numbers are going to change drastically.
Wow. All right.
Yeah.
They just didn't get it, did they?
Well, yeah, they want it to be easily shareable. They wanted it to be all done on a nonprofit budget.
Hey, there's that.
50
right?
infographics.
Yeah. 50 infographics on a nonprofit budget. You can get 50 infographics for really, really cheap, but they're not going to succeed or do anything. Or you can get 50 really quality infographics, but still on a nonprofit budget.
Right.
You're looking at 6 figures. And so, because we do a very good nonprofit discount, but it was still going to be a 6-figure project.
Yep.
So after I kept talking to them, I realized actually what you need is an interactive experience, not an infographic. So what we did was we designed the state of California first. All of the data for the state of California. Every single state had the same data sets, just different numbers in those data sets. So once we designed California, we kind of had a template to work off of. We coded out the template and then tied that template in using JavaScript, tied it into an Excel spreadsheet. And we used the Excel spreadsheet as our database. So then we were able to auto-generate the other 49 infographics without having to charge them a dime to design 49 more infographics. Then we were able to use a Firefox plugin that turns each one into a JPEG so they're easy to share. We're able to add buttons because it's interactive, so a Twitter button, a Facebook button, and email your governor button. And because it's tied into Excel as the back end, all they have to do is change the numbers in Excel, and then it updates automatically on the fly across all of the infographics. So they never have to ever touch the design at any point.